Commsverse TV 2025. We are back again with our pre-shows. We hope you're all having fun, and these are turning out to be interesting for you. And we've got a good show today. We've got New Era Tech, and they're a big supplier of Teams rooms, lots and lots of customers around the world. And to join us, we have Chris Young. Hi, Chris.
Hello, thank you for having me. As I said, this is the first time we've been at Commsverse and my first time doing something like this, so go easy on me.
We'll try. And up back as always.
I am a little bit stressed, a lot of work going on at the moment, but I made time for it. Let's keep doing this.
That's your fault. You want to keep making all this money for these kids with burns as part of your charity effort, and I know this week is your big
Yes,
charity week.
it is. So a lot of work already done. Expecting 150 people for some nice dinner this evening at our charity event. So yes, everything's. I
Okay.
just dropped everything. The guys are finishing things off, so I don't need to work this afternoon.
I have to say, when we first connected, she was still in the tent, and then she went back to her office. It was a good time. So, do you do a lot of social work, Chris? Do you run a multi-billion-dollar charity or anything like that?
No, I do volunteer at the local Scouts group. So yeah, running a Drew of Squirrels, which is the younger groups, age 4 to 6. So yeah, that keeps me busy in my spare time.
Squirrels. They were never called squirrels when I was a kid. Yeah.
Squirrels, then it goes to beavers, cubs, scouts, and then yeah, I forget what's after that.
Oh,
But
Cubs and Scouts, I think,
it
was
carries
one
on.
point for me. But there we go. We had more fun because it was in the local church hall, frightening ourselves in the graveyard after the meetings. But there you go. Yeah, I was a bad boy, just like your dog, Chris. But we'll keep everybody surprised on that one. All right. So tell us about New Era Tech.
So new era technology. So we're probably one of the largest companies you may be or may not have heard of. We've got about 80 offices worldwide. Operate as a global organisation. I sit within the global video collaboration division of new era technology. And that's all around AV integration, Microsoft Teams meeting rooms, digital signage, and all with a focus on managed service and service first. Really is our sort of ethos.
Cool. And you have a very large, what I quite like about it is that you have a centralized Teams management service.
Yeah, so what we're finding more and more, it's very difficult to add value. That's the manufacturers are making it too easy to deploy these rooms. So you've got to really think about how you can deliver value to your customers. And one way we do that is looking to sort of extend outside of just AV and meeting room technology into things like AI, using some of our skill sets outside of the video collaboration division, and also how do we monitor and provide value to large scale deployments, where we can see exactly what's going on in a room, remotely log on to systems, and deliver support in that way.
Yeah. So about meeting rooms, you see a lot of involvement in that area, and the space is changing a lot. What are the biggest changes that you guys went through the last year?
So we're seeing certainly a comeback in the larger spaces, town hall meeting spaces, that sort of thing. And again, to the point I mentioned earlier about how do we add value, and really it's when you get into these larger spaces, these more complex spaces where the systems integrator can sort of come into their own and make a difference to customers, focusing on outcome driven solutions. What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do in a particular given space? And then the technology sort of fits into place from that, rather than technology first and trying to sort of crowbar a solution into a requirement. We really look at discovery sessions and finding out what a client's trying to achieve in a particular space.
And also that technology needs to be very flexible, because we all see that people are changing, the way of working is changing as well. So do you guys do something on that flexibility?
Yeah, exactly that. So a lot of, certainly in the last year or so, we've seen a lot of companies moving premises or downsizing or looking at reimagining office space. So that's where we've been able to come in and support the the transformation of how people work and how hybrid work is really sort of happening. And we're finding as well things are extending outside of the meeting room. So everything's kind of converging in terms of smart offices, smart workspace. Things like wayfinding solutions are all sort of creeping in. So it's not just meeting room systems. It's everything outside of that and that sits within a smart office space. Even down from the network side of things, because everything ultimately hangs off the networks.
Yeah. One of the things I see in the list of things is tech bar experience. What do you guys call the tech bar experience?
The tech bar experience, in what context do you mean? Because
So you talk about your event spaces and
the
the
tech
fact
bar
that
might be.
yeah, you're moving away from the traditional room sort of environment. I just see on your list here, this is your marketing people's list, so maybe you need to go talk to them, but they talk about event spaces and tech bar experience.
Yeah, tech bar experience. So, the IT, help desk, support services, the IT teams having, their sort of own playground of solutions that they can, really sort of discover what innovations are coming around the corner.
Oh, okay. So is that a service you deliver to your customers, I guess, then, just to keep them updated on new tech and on all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we're working with a new customer, we don't really see it as a customer relationship. It's more of a partnership.
Yeah.
When we work with customers, and we look to communicate as a global team. Drive consistency through technology standardization where possible. Be open and transparent with things like pricing. Make sure we sort of limit the need for change. Certainly when a project is in flight, the solution is the solution. And we don't want customers to be hit with surprise changes along the way. We make sure we get the scope of that solution correct from the outside, from the outset, and meet and exceed expectations in that respect.
And of course, I'm guessing AI is a big part of it as well.
Yes. So AI, that's a very overused term, I think, at the moment, and it means a number of different things to a number of different people. But what we are finding is, nearly every single customer that we're talking to will have, an AI governance committee of some sort, and the people that we're talking to are on those committees. So, where can we again add value to our customers, and that is extending the envelope of services that we can deliver to our customers outside of just hanging and banging screens and doing AV integration. It's where can we really deliver value through lines of business applications for things like AI tool sets. And we've got a digital transformation practice where we do Copilot Studio development, agent development work. So I don't mean AI in a sense of in a Teams room, recapping meetings and taking notes of a meeting. It's proper line of business applications for AI technology, and developing a strategy for a successful AI deployment within a customer, which will help people actually do their work better and more efficiently. It's not to replace people, it's AI with humans at the center ultimately.
Well, there's always humans at the center at the moment, but I was watching a presentation at the weekend, and they were saying that there's still three stages of this, and we're in the narrow stage of AI at the moment, in that it's quite limited to specific functions and actions. Do you find that many organizations think the same way? They're kind of waiting for the big thing around AI so it can deliver improvements in value and do bigger and better things for them rather than just creating an email, creating a document.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think with any AI strategy, it's important. We feel to pick off the quick wins, not try and go too big too fast.
Yeah,
Understand where the quick wins are, where the challenges are, where AI can really help with process improvement, and pick off those and deliver those solutions well, and launch with excellence ultimately. So don't try and go too big too fast, and build it out and then learn from the small scale deployment how you can then replicate that in other business applications, for example HR or service delivery, those kind of things.
that makes sense.
Yes. I do like the fact that you are saying not going too big on AI at once, because that's something you see often, that many organizations go all in and forget all of the rest. So
Yeah, well, it's important to launch these things in a structured way, and the thing to get right first is having all of your data and security and access correct in the first place, because it could go very wrong very fast if you don't
Yeah.
have access to the wrong
yeah.
the wrong things. We also support customers with Microsoft funding vehicles as well for putting Microsoft solutions in place around AI.
That's cool. So you're coming to Commsverse. So I guess, are you involved in creating the rooms, or are you just taking a normal exhibition stand showing your services? What's your involvement in Commsverse this year? As a newbie, I don't suppose you even
Yeah,
know what
so
to expect.
well, we don't know really what to expect. It's the first time exhibiting, but we'll have a stand and we'll be showcasing all of our capabilities in AV installation and managed services. Like I said, we don't just hang and bang screens. We do that, but we're really taking a service first approach. So we've got our own monitoring tool, so we'll be able to demonstrate that and show anyone that's attending how that works, as well as all of the other Microsoft skill sets that we have as a business.
That's cool. And you talk
So
about multi-vendor rooms.
Yeah, so we don't just hang our hat on one vendor. We're agnostic. So as I said earlier, really it's around outcome first. So looking to understand what a client is trying to achieve in a given space, and then the technology to suit those outcomes and those requirements would be selected based on delivering that, rather than specifically leading with a vendor. But we typically would use certified Microsoft Teams certified systems.
yes, I also saw in the list that we received something about the remote management capabilities. So you guys want to reduce the on-site of engineers, but how can you do it? Sometimes engineers just be needed on site.
Yeah, so again, it's in large scale deployments, it's how do we add value? The manufacturers are making it too easy just to drop in video bars in these small to medium rooms. So to deliver a reactive support contract with engineers on site, yes, that's part of what we do. But if a customer has a support contract and they've got systems in there that have got no have not gone wrong. How can we demonstrate value if we've not had to send anyone to site in a 12-month period? So it's about how we continually provide value and keep customers working with us for many years to come, so we can provide proactive monitoring where we can offer services like change and release management to make sure all of their firmware is up to date from a security and compliance point of view. And also, if there are issues in a space, a lot of fixes can be done remotely. So we can log on to the box. We can check all of its settings, make sure it's up to date, make sure that the compute firmwares are matching the peripheral firmwares as well, because see, Microsoft will do daily updates and whatnot, but the OEM vendors will need a whole separate set of firmware management, and that's where we can sort of support remotely and log onto the devices and be able to provide fixes. And then if an engineer is needed, then of course there's an automatic triage then from the proactive support into the engineer on site and replacement parts to fix the system. And we operate that as a global service as well, so we can do that anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the world.
Just like Martini, any place, anywhere, anytime. That's all right. That's a 1980s
exactly
advert.
that.
Most people wouldn't remember. That's cool. I get that. One of the things I was thinking about when you did that over the weekend, I did a presentation in Microsoft's building in Poland as part of the Colab Days event, and we had an old video screen, the old original Surface, the Surface One, and it kept resetting. So instead of playing the laptop, it kept going back to the opening screen. So they called an engineer in who came and looked at the back and said something and then disappeared out the room. And it was about half an hour later we realised that the problem had stopped. And so whatever he had done remotely. And everybody was just going, it stopped going back to that blue screen. Oh, yeah, the beauty of Microsoft. But obviously something had been reset somewhere remotely. So there's a lot of things you can possibly do with managing rooms remotely. There's no doubt about that. So that's pretty cool. So the question that we ask everybody, and nobody ever knows the answer, is a little bit too early. So what swag are you going to have on the stand at Commsverse? What should people come along and scan their badges for?
Good question. I may have to check that with marketing, but we usually have the usual sort of coffee cups and pens. Everyone loves a pen. We've also got some pretty neat key finders, so kind of like an AirTag type thing. So if you lose your keys, you can locate it.
Apple.
It works on both Apple and Android, pretty sure. I haven't lost my keys yet anyway, so...
Have you had to find them?
Maybe
I've not needed to test it.
Maybe the better question is, what is the most thing at Commsverse you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to a lot of networking, having lots of good conversations with customers, having a little wander around as well, seeing our friends, all the manufacturers and what they've got to offer. It's always quite interesting, and I guess there'll be some cool cars to see as well. Although I'm not much of a petrol head, but I'll take some pictures for the kids.
Are you much of a driver?
Not really. No, I've got a clapped out old family wagon that I drive around in. So,
well, I have to say they have the high speed track and they have the slip thing. Oh, what's it called? Forgot. I'll remember that for the next video. But yes, so you can go around the track and try and go sideways with a professional driver. Well worth the experience.
Oh, okay. Drifting. I think my son would call that.
Yeah, so you go in a nice, very expensive AMS Mercedes and try not to bend it. A lot of fun, all good stuff. All right, well, unless there's the last question from Anouk.
No questions anymore.
We should tell your let you pass on to your marketing team that we always have a swag table when we put the studio together, so everybody gets to see all the different swag from different places. And it's mainly an excuse so we get to take at least some of it home with us. Yeah, everybody sort of refers to it as we do the live channels from Commsverse, which we'll be doing this year. We have 7 hours of live TV coming from Commsverse in June. Come and say hi to us if you're somewhere close. And Chris, it was a good little 20 minutes. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, good. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, look forward to seeing everyone at Commsverse.
Cool. And it wasn't too
See you at
arduous for you.
Commsverse.
It wasn't too arduous
Sorry,
for
I
you.
missed
You
that.
said you're not used to doing this kind of thing.
No, not too arduous. Hopefully I came across okay.
You did. Final word, Anouk?
See you at Commsverse.
See you at Commsverse.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you later.